Thank you so much for stopping by TessMD TV. I'm going to get straight to the point. We're going to talk about detox. You are not, look, pinky swear, I promise, cross my heart, you will never lose a pound until you detox. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but you heard it now. And I'm going to make it make sense. In today's video, I'm going to show you why you cannot ever lose weight unless you detox. I'm going to show you the process of detoxification. I'm going to explain to you why you have to pre-detox before you detox. I'm going to show you what a healthy detox entails, and then I'll answer any questions. There's a link in the description box. If you want to detox with us, meaning you, if you sign up, and we're going to start next week, but every single day this week on YouTube and on my social media platforms, we're going to be talking about detoxing. If you're into that kind of content, subscribe, like, share, sit down, get some popcorn, because this will be your last week of eating popcorn because you're about to start detoxing with us. And we're about to roll off into the content. Well, hey, wait a minute. Before I go into the content, let me go ahead and validate my credentials. My name is Tess Washington, MD, board certified physician and surgeon. I'm also fellowship trained in age management medicine, hormones, obesity medicine, and I'm studying the NASM to be a certified personal trainer. I'm very confident in this area. I have a master's in physiology and biophysics, so the whole molecular pathway is what I do. I have publications. So I feel as if you can feel the information you're receiving from me is an expert. I ain't giving medical advice, not unless I'm your doctor. And I do have a virtual practice that you can sign up for. So those are the disclaimers, the validation, the verification. Now let's talk about the content. So basically, when it comes down to fat that has been stored, we have multiple layers of the body that contain fat. You have your subcutaneous fat and you have your visceral fat. So the intra-abdominal or the visceral fat, that's the stubborn fat. So, I'm quite sure we've heard like fatty liver, or we've heard of our organs being described as fatty. That's because, as you see, we have a layer of fat that is intra-abdominal. And as that fat increases, it wraps around the organs. So just imagine like saran wrap wrapped around you. Can you move your arms? Can you move your fingers? No, you're restricted from doing the job that you were originally supposed to do because of just basically you're being held. That's what fat is doing to our organs, which is one of the main reasons why we have a decline in organ function secondary to intra-abdominal fat. Now, what's the difference between the subcutaneous fat and the visceral fat? Well, like you push the Pillsbury Doughboy's stomach, and he giggle like that. Well, not like that exactly, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, that is subcutaneous fat. Any fat that moves, that fat that shake like jelly. Yeah, any fat that moves, that is subcutaneous fat. The fat that doesn't move is visceral fat. And commonly, we've seen that a significant increase of visceral fat that is stubborn a lot of times has to do with hormonal imbalance, but it also could be a place that toxins are being stored. Now, it really means a lot to me that I speak in a manner that is not like all doctory. So if I ever like say something that's like, what? If I start sounding like Charlie Brown's teacher, let me know, because those are not my intentions. I really want to try to communicate with you guys, because I don't really think that anyone is like really broke these concepts down and gave you a visual so that it could make a lot of sense. Maybe it's wise. I want you guys to stop spending your money on all these different fads and going and getting all these different. You go get as many BBLs that you want, but if you haven't addressed the problem, you may as well get your round trip ticket, because you'll be going right back, because you're still not done until you address the problem. So this is a picture of a fat cell, and this is an example of if you have something that is stored in the fat cells. And the thing about fat cells, if they are not removed from your body, when you lose weight, if you do not get something like lipo or some kind of way to mobilize the fat, they will deflate. Or the minute you start eating the regular diet, they will inflate to the size they were before and then some because they have memory. I mean, fat cells are some of the smartest little varmints in our body. So our main goal is to decrease the things that we are storing in fat. Also, cellulite, light, however you want to say it. Cellulite is one of the main strong indications of toxins because that's like bands that have come down around fat cells. And that's the reason why they call it like a lymphatic draining. If you do a massage and some of those things on the market helped to decrease the cellulite because all they did was just squished, you know what I'm saying, and got like the some of the toxins out of the fat cells. But here's my question to you: where's it go? I feel like if you did the lymphatic drainage along with a detox, I'm going to show you right now, I think that would work because you could get it out and it would go from being fat soluble to water soluble, and then it would be eliminated. I'm telling you guys, I'm beginning to learn how to use this thing. The doctor's going to be dangerous once I finally figure all this technology out. This is the top 10 causes of death in the United States for both sexes, all ages. Now, you see right here, I can change it. I could change any date. Now, let me show you something, another country other than the United States. So in Afghanistan, look, now this is in 2000. In Afghanistan, it was neonatal condition. And if you look in Afghanistan right now, well, it only goes up to 2019. If you look at Afghanistan, it says ischemic heart disease, and then it says neonatal conditions, then collective violence. Ooh, wow. Collective violence and legal intervention. Now, let's pick Dominican Republic. We're in the Dominican Republic. Let's go back to 2000. So what are the top 10 causes of death in the Dominican Republic back in 2000? But HIV, ischemic heart disease, neonatal conditions. Let's look at DR in 2019. What are the top 10 leading causes of death? Ischemic heart disease, stroke, road injury? Yeah, road injury. Diabetes, neonatal conditions, cirrhosis of the liver, lower respiratory infections. Let me show you the United States of America. In 2000, in the United States, the top 10 causes of death: ischemic heart disease, stroke, trachea, bronchus, lung cancers, COPD, Alzheimer's, lower respiratory infection. And this is on the WHO website. So if you want to go look for yourself, that's where you get this resource from. The United States. The furthest this goes is 2019. The number one cause of death is ischemic heart disease. Look at what's number 2, Alzheimer's and dementia. We haven't seen that in any, well, we didn't go through all the countries, but we went through a few. You go do it yourself and you find out if there's another country that has Alzheimer's and dementia as the second leading cause of death. Let me explain. Dietary habits play a significant role in Alzheimer's. Basically, what this scale is telling us is we literally have control over our mortality. If we change our diet, we could prevent ischemic heart disease. Now, of course, there are hereditary, there's DNA factors. I'm not saying that, the only thing that contributes to diabetes and dementia is diet. I'm not saying that at all, but I am saying that it is a large contributing factor because of the gut-brain axis. Look it up. We're just now really actively talking about the gut-brain axis. What is the gut-brain axis? That means there's a freeway, a connection. It's nonstop. So whatever goes in your tummy goes to your brain. And that's where our bacteria comes in. And that's where you start to hear more about the prebiotic, the probiotic, and the postbiotic. Because the bacteria, they're not, I was going to say they're living people, because they're not living people, but they have a life. right? And so if you live, you what? You poop, right? So when bacteria poops, we want to make their poop fermented so that it will kill the bad bacteria. Like you got the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. And if we get an overpopulation of bad bacteria, that's not what we want. Hey there, good evening. Good evening. How are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. With it being that we eat processed food and our diet, the bad bacteria is winning the game in the gut brain axis because we're not doing anything to make it to the point that they're not winning the game. Let's talk about vegetables that are grown on a farm. There's a possibility that they're still not good because haven't you noticed that broccoli is not that bad? It tastes a little bit sweet. They actually can change the genetic structure of vegetables so they're bigger and they're more attractive. You know how when you go to the grocery store, you want the one nice and big and plump, right? And then when you eat it, you're not going to eat it if it tastes bitter, even though that was our native taste. We don't like bitter things. We like things that are sweet. So even the farmers have, and like I said, look all this stuff up. You ain't got to believe me, but it is a fact. One of the companies I work with as far as supplements, I'm going to show you a picture. They use something that's called green manure. It helps to enrich some of the soil that has been stripped of some of the things that we need in order for the vegetables to grow healthy. So there's a pile of manure for you right there. And one of the companies that I get my supplements that I send out to patients is from Standard Process. And Standard Process actually has their own farm because they use, in the supplements that they make, they actually take the vegetables that were grown on their farm and go through whatever steps you go through in order to put them into those little bitty capsules. So that's why I said last week, whatever supplement you take, it all depends on the quality of the supplement. Because if the supplement does not meet a certain standard, it's doing absolutely nothing for you except for making you think that you did something for yourself, which you didn't. Farms now breed vegetables for bushels per acre as opposed to the nutrient supply. And even if you go to the grocery store, you'll see an obvious difference between the organic vegetables and the other vegetables. And the other vegetables normally look more attractive because they're bigger and they're fluffier. But the organic vegetables, all depending on where they were grown, are the ones that you should get. So what does this mean? Even if we eat the fruits and the vegetables, there's a very good possibility in the United States, I'm speaking, that it is deficient of many vital macro and micronutrients. Vegetables are veg. How you spell veg? Okay. I'm not gonna be judged on my spelling. Vegetables are depleted of micronutrients. Okay. And that's one thing that we notice secondary to the farming. Toxins are stored in fat. And like I said, there's a lot of papers that back this. If we don't get the toxins out of the fat, we're not going to be successful at our weight loss. We need to first detox, then we can start trying to lose weight. But here's another thing that I wanted to show you guys. You have to be healthy enough to detox. An unhealthy diet, sedentary lifestyle, high stress, taking medications, poor sleep, addiction, and social isolation. Then we have an increase of cellular stress, injury, epigenetic changes. So what that means is you actually, by incurring these factors, are changing your DNA, which is the reason why they say that some of your pathology is from 2 or 3 generations prior, which also means on the flip side that if you changed to a healthier diet and a healthier lifestyle, you could change your DNA. So, I mean, I think, I don't know. I'm like so excited by medicine because that means that you actually, what are we proving? You have control. You can increase the longevity of your life literally at the end of this video by just changing the way you eat. And you can make sure your grandkids are healthy. That is amazing. The amount of control that we have as humans. And all we got to do is stop a bad habit that is not our fault. And it has always been known that a healthy diet adds to the longevity of life. So my question is, when a baby is born, smacked on the booty at the hospital, it's a boy, it's a girl, it's 2 boys, it's twins, it's triplets. Why aren't we introducing a healthy diet at the hospital? Why do we even introduce them to corn syrup, fructose, and Similac? We take a brand spanking new baby who just got here and we give him sugar right away. And then we send him to school, the Jello and the Twinkies and then they grow up and then they have a birthday party, got cake, ice cream, candy, and then they go trick or treating to get a bag full of candy and all their life, and then they get 40 years old, like, oh, you have ischemic heart disease, so now you got to eat celery for the rest of your life. That's wrong. Now here you are, 40, you got kids, you got a job you hate and everything else, and now you got to start eating broccoli. And sugar is extremely addictive, 8 times more addictive than cocaine. So all these years when we could have just learned the right way and never set up negative habits. But there are some people who they never have, we all have friends that like, I've never had sugar. I don't have a sweet tooth. So this is not all Americans. This is not all families. But I'm just saying that it shouldn't be to the point that the information we're sharing right now is news breaking. It should have been a part of every household, but shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? So I should have been 5'10", but I'm only 5'3". We could just work with what we got. And now if you follow my channel, now you could have the power to change your entire lineage and everybody in your household. Okay, we have this unhealthy diet, sedentary lifestyle, high stress, medication, poor sleep, addiction, social isolation, and that leads to increased microbiome, epigenetic changes, cellular stress, injury, which leads to overall full body inflammation. And then we end up with obesity, type 2 diabetes, CVD, that's ischemic heart disease, cancer, depression, just all kinds of stuff, right? Bad hair day, all of that because of this over here. So our goal is we want to get away from being on this side. We want to go back to the healthy side. Well, how do we do it? Well, the first thing we have to do is reverse some of the damage that was caused by being on the unhealthy side. And one of the ways that we go about doing that is with detox. Now, let me show you why you have to be healthy in order to get healthy. When we detox, the first thing we're trying to do is take the toxins from being fat soluble to water soluble. We have to change the consistency of the fat so that the toxins can come out. And believe it or not, that is done with diet. In order for your liver to do these things, it has to have some nutrients and minerals before you start. That goes back to the part I was talking about in the beginning, where we have to pre-detox before we detox. So you need to get on a dietary regimen where you are increasing your vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, your folic acid, your glutathione, and your flavonoids. Because you need this in order for these steps to take place. So, like, let's say somebody like, girl, I just watched the Guru. I'm about to detox. You just get up from where you were sitting at, go into the kitchen. You're not going to be successful because you're likely not healthy enough to try to get healthy. Isn't that weird? But that's how it is. So there are so many facts. And then here go the part. So once we go through this enzymatic oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, hydration, dehalogenation, the toxins go from being within the fat to being water soluble. But then they're just sitting there because it's 3 phases. Let's say the toxins go from being fat soluble to water soluble. They need to move from phase 2 to phase 3, which is elimination. Because if they don't, they're going to be like, y'all sitting around, man, I'm finna go back. Y'all can sit here if you want to. I'm going to go back. They go back to the fat. But here go the problem. The fact that they were changed from fat soluble to water soluble, when they go back to the fat, they're more toxic. When you're detoxing, you have symptoms. And so you feel like crap. You feel horrible. So you're doing something where you're going to feel horrible. And then if you don't get the toxins out of that intermediate phase and eliminate it, you're going to feel worse. So then you go back to your girlfriend, girl, I'm going to give that doctor a 1 star on Yelp. She botched my detox. No, she didn't. You did. It's steps. It's steps to it. I mean, you need attaboy. You need team. You could do it. You do. That's why we're going to do it next Monday. Make sure you sign up. The link in the description box is sign you up for the detox. And we're going to all do it together. All of us. We're going to all do it together. All over the world. Everywhere. Afghanistan too. What was that? Dominican? Their problem is HIV, but we're going to still detox them. All right. So DR is going to detox with us also. So, and then once you go from phase 1 to phase 2, look at this. You need these nutrients when you're in phase 2. Now, it is very important that you have these nutrients because now here's the problem. If you don't have the nutrients that you need in phase 2 won't work, period. So what you're trying to do, you won't even be able to do it. Now, there are some tests. If you have a functional medicine doctor or, I have access to the test, we could test to see if your detox was successful based on the waste product that comes in your urine. It can be measured. But one of the major steps in detox is methylation. Now, in order for phase 2 to work properly, your body, it has to be able to go through the methylation cycle. B6, folate, B12, and that explains why you need those things in your pre-detox. So in your pre-detox, you're getting everybody in place. All right, you're in position. You're getting the band in order. You got the guy on the bass, you got the drummer. You're getting everyone positioned. If these people are not in position, you're not going to be able to go through the methylation cycle. If you can't go through the methylation cycle, your detox won't be successful. If you don't have whatever's necessary for you to go through the methylation cycle, you will not be able to process the toxins so they get to the point of elimination. One of the ways that we can test if we don't have proper function of the methylation cycle is to measure the level of homocysteine. The homocysteine level needs to decrease if we're having successful methylation. If you have an increase of homocysteine, that's one of the things that lets you know that your methylation is not working properly. and let you know that your detox is likely to not be successful. Or what do we do? Because basically an increase of homocysteine is an increase of toxin. At Fullscript, that's another place I give my supplements. I have a protocol, and if you want this protocol, I'll leave it for you. I'll leave a link in the description. There is a detox protocol for you to decrease the elevated homocysteine, which will help you to decrease anything that you were not successful in decreasing during the detox. And as you see, it's giving you what you were supposed to have in the beginning, right? Folic acid, B12, omega-3 fatty acids. And one thing I want you to realize, some of these things are available in a diet. So that's the reason why, people are like, I don't have enough money. You could have a successful detox in your kitchen. But as long as you know the steps or you know what to do, you don't have to spend a lot of money. The information is free. Like if you wanted to buy some of the supplements, I give you guys a really great discount because I'm not really trying to do this for the money. I'm mainly trying to do it for the knowledge, just so that you can see that there is no quick way for us to undo the damage that has been done to us by processed foods, toxins. But as long as we know we're moving in the right direction, we didn't get toxic like this overnight, so we're not going to get detox overnight. But there is a way. But you do have to implement some things that are very hard, and that's discipline, willpower, changing behavior. That's one of the most difficult things. Behavioral change is hard. So one of the main things that I teach, in my personal training or with my patients, people will not necessarily run to pleasure, but they will run away from terror. So if you really want to try to break a bad habit, think about what could happen to you if you don't think, I'm going to do this. No, you're not. Because your brain is going to talk you out of it. Because remember, your brain's job is to keep you happy. Your brain is that little voice that you hear is like, you ain't got to be there. Just sleep 15 more minutes. Go and lay back. That's your brain. And then you wake up and you late. Your brain is going to keep you happy. You have to dominate your brain. And you have to say, look, Mr. Brain, didn't nobody ask you. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay. And you just got to put your foot down and put whatever carrot in front of you that is important to you. But I'm just really pointing out to you, your life is up to you, basically. Initially, I wrote an ebook, and that's why I was going to send out to the mailing list. And then I said, I don't want to just get them on a eating healthy until we detox. So that's the reason why I really feel like, I would be doing you an injustice if I didn't spend a lot of time talking about detox. Let me show you the video for the meal plan.
Welcome to your quick start guide to getting the most out of your meal planner. Meeting your nutrition goals has never been simpler. Each week, you will receive a meal plan with simple recipes that has been hand curated by nutrition professionals and chefs. Your meal plan is interactive and fully customizable to fit your lifestyle. You can add and remove recipes based on your preferences. You can adjust the number of servings and scale those recipes you want to make more of for later. To create leftovers in your planner, drag the recipe into the specified day, then click the grocery icon, and ingredients will be hidden from your smart grocery list. Liking recipes using the green heart will add them to your recipe box. Here, you can search for recipes and add them directly to your planner. As you customize your plan, the nutrition facts will automatically adjust as well as your smart grocery list. You can generate your grocery list for those days you want to shop for. You can print your entire planner along with your list and recipes. Use your list to order groceries online or take your meal plan and grocery list with you, as it can be viewed and modified on any mobile device. Selecting and preparing healthy food shouldn't be complicated. Whether you're preparing a family meal or packing snacks for an afternoon full of activities, we're here to support you with plenty of options. To log into your meal planner, refer to your practitioner's website or reach out to them for more information. We look forward to seeing you in the kitchen, and happy cooking.
I think it would be unfair to you guys if we just ran to the meal plan and we haven't cleaned ourselves up first. And I'm going to do it with you. And I'm not going to cheat. And even if I did cheat, I would tell you. And I'll make sure you guys have like a planner, somewhere to log it. You guys know we have the community. We have the community. We have the TessMD Live app. So we have all kinds of places that we can gather and we can maybe meet new friends and we can go through this together. The detox plan takes a month and it's about a week that you would spend in the pre detox and then the detox. And that's where it gets painful because there's actually, when you're going through the initial phase, when you're stopping things like the caffeine and you got the headaches, the bad moods, it gets rough. So maybe tomorrow I'll talk about the symptoms associated with detoxification and how you can offset those symptoms. But I know me, whenever I do anything that's like a lifestyle modification, one of the ways that I offset the symptoms is with friends and positive reinforcement and knowing that I'm not in it alone. So, hey, okay, you about to go to bed? All right. Okay, so, well, we'll see you maybe if you decide to stop by tomorrow night, but you get some rest. And thank you so much. Prayers to you too. You know, prayers to everyone. Definitely. We're living in some, um, we're definitely living in, man, revelation. I can't even hold back from saying it. We're living in some rough times. So, you know, maybe I could just be that channel that you come to, that we just get some clean positivity and we start cleaning our bodies out. So we're going to wrap it up for today because I think that I've already, you know, just given like information overload. I'll write this information up and I'll put it on the website. I'll let you guys know. If you're following me on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I'll present information that correlates. On the community on YouTube, there's a link. You could just sign up for a detox if you want and put your number. I want your number. You know what I'm saying? People say they put those signups and like, well, just make them put their first name. Then maybe look, if you don't want to give me your first name, your last name, and your phone number, don't sign up because we need to be able to text you and we need to be able to communicate with you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to help. Don't get no burner email on me. Those emails that dissolve after you download the downloadable. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't give me a burner email. I just want to be a friend. I just want you to be healthy. And I just want you to make generations after generations after generations healthy. I want us to undo the bad habits that we got that we didn't ask for, but they were introduced to us. And now let's do something about it. Let's make a change.